Hi, I'm Editor-in-Chief Crista Alarcon, and I'm here sitting down with Mrs. Voorhies talking about first semester. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, so I just want to ask, what are some expectations versus realities that you had going into teaching and being in high school for the first time, coming as an elementary school teacher? I just want to know some of that.
Yes. Well, I came in already knowing that we have great students, great staff, and I think that we have just truly tapped on the leadership capabilities of the students. So my expectations was really to come in and soak it all in, see what's out there, see what the students share with me and what they need and what the staff needs, and then just try to listen and learn so that way we can create something that helps both the staff and the students. But one thing that I really have figured out is the students, y'all are capable of much more than we've even tapped into, and the leadership potential with our student body is immense and truly needs to be promoted, and we really need to foster that leadership ability within the students. I think that's a really great thing if we can foster that and guide that as a school community, because so many talents, so many capabilities. So that has been an expectation. I think I already knew that everybody was super smart and great, but that leadership capability I didn't expect to shine as much as it has. And just principal advisory, student leadership with the sophomores, there's a lot of room to grow with that, especially when we start with maybe our freshman class. So I think that's an opportunity there that I really want to help guide with the students and work with some of the principal advisory groups and the leadership group to promote within the school, because there's lots of leadership opportunities.
And what are some observations you have? Let's just start with the student side. Like, what are some observations you've seen in your first semester? Just like talking to the students, meeting the students, what are some things you've seen there?
Right. One, I see great expectations. Demand excellence is our motto, and I really feel most of the students exemplify that every single day. I think that the student body wants to have a little fun, which is a great thing. And the senior class has really been a phenomenal group to work with, as well as the tailgate captains, with bringing new ideas and trying to foster a little bit better Friday Night Light experience with football games, and just the senior class asking for specific things and saying, hey, we really want this, and advocating for that. And some things I've said no on, not a lot. They have gotten a lot of some really great things this year. But just fostering that moving forward and taking that time to be with each class representative. So junior class moving forward, what do y'all want? And I know that the PSAT day was one that was already asked for. They wanted the PSAT day, but I think just asking questions is the most important part, and I try to do that in principal advisory group for them, to give them a platform to speak what they need. Speed bumps on the golf cart path is a whole nother topic, but they brought that up. I was like, what do you mean there's golf cart speed bumps? I didn't know that they were installed, and then I didn't know that they were reinstalled until the group told me. So I think that communication piece with the students and providing them that platform to provide feedback, because it is your school too, and it should be what you want, because it's your high school experience too. We are trying to provide those experiences, but in the same way, it has to ebb and flow with the student body, because I mean, the junior class might not want a snowball dance next year. You guys might not want to do it. The senior class wanted that this year. So it needs to ebb and flow with what you see would be great for the high school too, and just take that under consideration moving forward. But I think, again, it goes down to student leadership. I mean, asking questions and then the students providing feedback on that. I think that's super important in a high school.
And what about on the faculty side? What are some, obviously it's kind of different from elementary school because you have all these departments. What are some observations you've had on the faculty side?
Right. We we have here at Starr's Mill, the faculty, we have an expert level faculty in all the things. High level degrees, we have lots of teachers. You don't call them doctor, but they have it. And that is a whole nother level of support in academics. To me, that is greatly important. And the students, I don't know if the students realize it, and sometimes the school community doesn't, but if you don't have teachers willing to sponsor things, be your coaches, those sorts of things, and give of that time, then you don't have a high school community. And the time that they give, the talents that they share, the extra time that they pour in to provide feedback. The English department I have seen up here on Saturdays and Sundays because they want to give expert level feedback for improvement for their students. A lot of the AP classes do that again. I know I was in Miss King's class and she was talking about the FRQs and trying to provide feedback for that. So there's a lot of time and talent shared with our students, staff-wise, and they're sharing that not only in the academics, but also through clubs, class sponsorships, going to conferences with you all and providing those unique opportunities that truly, if you hadn't attended another high school, you wouldn't know that they didn't exist every place else, but they truly only exist here at Starr's Mill. And that's that's a great thing for our staff to share with our students. And it doesn't happen everywhere. And that's the thing that our students need to know is it happens at Starr's Mill because we have an expert level staff that truly wants to give to our school community. And that's a special thing because that doesn't happen everywhere.
And what about on the administrative side? What are some things you've noticed, not only just in like your administrative staff, but even in like your front office, your secretaries? What are some things you've noticed there?
One, we're a big group. We're a very large group. But one of the great things is you don't have to do it all. Mm-hmm. And if one of us is out, then we share the load and take it on as a team. So this entire front office, there's a large group of us. Everyone literally is working together and covering and taking on a new role, or hey, I got that because this person's out, or hey, I have a meeting, I'll cover that. So it's just that balance and making it a priority of serving our students and staff, making that a priority. And if that's our number one, then everything else is guiding and going based on that number one. And it's very nice, and I don't think people realize this either, but we have secretaries up here in the front office that swap. So Ms. Voorhies has Ms. Fry and Ms. Marchman. Well, they swap on and off. We are never left without a AP secretary, a front office secretary, or even a principal secretary, because if they're out, somebody else, their partner comes in and fills in for them. And that doesn't happen at every school either. Other high schools, if they're out because they have a full-time person in there. And that is a huge benefit to our teamwork and just the functionality of the front office. Even when Nurse Jenna left, we have a sub in there right now, and hopefully someone will start full-time after winter break. But that piece of just, is myself and two other APs, and then the secretary staff. Like, we have a protocol that we follow when we don't have a sub nurse in there. Mm-hmm. And that was created as a team. So that way we can serve our students and staff because they're our number one. And everything evolves around that.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so continuing on administration, you have the expertise of Dr. Carby and Mr. Fontaine, who are coming in from different backgrounds. Dr. Carby's coming in from middle school, Mr. Fontaine's coming in from McIntosh. How do you take their expertise and combine it with Mrs. Meeks, who's been here for a long time, and Ms. Heaton, who is just kind of has been here for a couple of years now? How do you kind of take all of that and combine it into one team?
Right. So it takes a lot of teamwork. I'm sure. We talk a lot. We actually usually have weekly admin meetings. It's been a little interrupted so far this month because of all the snow and all the things. But we have weekly meetings where we kind of talk about different ideas. We share a lot of things. Hey, just FYI, I'm working on this. And so then everybody has access to the document so we can all see it and share it. And we do a lot of that in our weekly meetings. But it's also just that essential teamwork. So they're really good about saying, okay, hey, so this is what we've done in the past, but how do we want to do it this year? And then we talk about bringing in things that my experiences, Mr. Fontaine's experiences, and Dr. Carby's experiences, and trying to mold them together. And it's also, I get a lot of feedback from students. And so we also want to add in, hey, we didn't like that. We want this, that, or the other. And we try to blend all those ideas as much as we can and use our different expertise to make something great happen. But we also just have a strategic plan of, if we're taking something over, then we're getting trained before we take it over. And graduation is a great example of that, with Miss Meeks is passing the torch to Miss Heaton. But Miss Meeks is at all the meetings. I'm at all the meetings too this year, but just really kind of guiding that development as we pass the torch to make sure we don't miss anything, because that's important. We want it to stay streamlined and we want it to be successful no matter who's running it, and just that teamwork approach is very important.
Yeah, I'm sure. And just kind of switching it up a little bit, you and I have talked many times before about school spirit.
Right.
Why is school spirit something that's so important to Starr's Mill, and things that you've noticed in the first semester?
Right. So I always say, and I said it at the beginning of the year, but high school will be what you make it. And you can choose to make it something big and great and fabulous, and you can choose to make it a come in and do your classes and leave. It is what you make it. School spirit is truly something that I feel is important to every high school, because school spirit is a little bit bigger than going to a game and dressing up. It's truly your memories and what you want to remember about high school. There's going to be specific things that years now, when you're old like Mrs. Voorhies, you will pick out, okay, well, I remember this, or that was really great. But I will tell you, I've graduated a long time ago. I'm not saying the year, because you guys will be like, wow, that's really old. But it's the school spirit things that I remember the most. It's the homecomings, it's the dances, it's the little events that we did together. The senior pictures, I'm big on having the senior pictures taken as a group, because that's a memory that I hold, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun taking that photo. But the school spirit things, that's what you'll remember, and that is really kind of what makes high school an experience versus, just going to school. And in college, depending on what college everybody attends, sometimes you get that and sometimes you don't. And really, high school's, and I said it again last night, high school's the one thing that you don't get to repeat. So you really have to find that balance between academics and having some experiences within high school, as well as just fostering a little bit of fun. We can work hard here and the expectations won't exit, but you can also have a little fun. Pep assemblies, I'm so thankful for Mr. Klumper and his team just really providing that atmosphere. The high five event was a lot of fun, but also just encouraging people to come to the games, come and support your fellow teammates, and let's really work on supporting each other, which is in a fun way, which is really just school spirit, which is you having fun in high school. And that really drives the school community and the students working together. And in a way, that's student leadership too. And student leadership is an amazing thing, and I think it'll really guide everyone to what's next, because there's lots of leadership opportunities in life, and it doesn't have to be something that you're on the front page of the news or anything like that. There's little opportunities to lead that you'll naturally find throughout your entire thread of life when you exit Starr's Mill, and I want everyone to be prepared for those opportunities.
100%. Thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me.
Yes, anytime.
This was great. Thank you so much. Please be sure to check out more news at theprowlernews.org and follow us on social media at SMHS Prowler.